Well, update, it's now Tuesday night. And it's pretty much finished fermenting. You can see the bottling mark is the black line. And she's below that. So we've got Sunday evening pitching, or Sunday midnight pitching, to Tuesday evening she's done. So the yeast does its job. The last wheat beer was equally quick at fermenting, but we haven't finished the process on this one. Primary fermentation is finished, more or less. It was 10:10. It was on the bottling mark of the hydrometer. We've added 2 bottles of natural raspberry syrup to give it the raspberry flavouring, which has obviously put some more fermentable sugars back in. About 60-70 grams per bottle. I've put 2 bottles in, 440ml a bottle. It's the famous Malina Polish syrup. So we're going to let that carry on fermenting, see what it tastes like. I've got another bottle to add to it if it hasn't got enough raspberry flavouring. Then if it hasn't got enough raspberry flavouring, I'm going to transfer it to a secondary. There'll be some real raspberries going in as well, some frozen and some canned, and some vanilla extract. Well, vanilla beans extracted in vodka, to hopefully impart a little bit of vanilla smoothness, to see what it comes out like. But obviously that's going to be a little while longer, so I'll keep you updated. Charlie's beer reviews. Punk IPA. Sweet. He likes. It was a brew dog reviewing a brew dog drop of Punk IPA. I'll share that the recipe has changed since the last time I had it, but obviously my hop toleration is a lot different from what it was. But talking of hops, let me just put the glass somewhere away where it smash it. Oh dear. Not supposed to look that colour, are they? We've got the ends have died. Still got some activity going on. But this one, oh dear. Definitely some kind of disease maybe, or overwatering, underwatering. They are not happy chappies. We've still got some good healthy growth shooting out. Spurs are now coming out. Sorry, slight interlude there. Yeah, anyway, I was saying, we have some new growth coming off, which obviously these will branch out and produce our little hops. But obviously we had something's got hungry. Obviously we have been hammered with some sort of dry periods and then very wet periods, heavy rain. I did notice last year there was a tiny little caterpillar used to get underneath the leaves. That's sort of one of them already sprung and gone. Anyway, I'm not too worried if I don't get a great crop off them. I don't think I will be in pots, but as long as I can save them for next year and hopefully transplant them next year into soil and get some of the back garden cordoned off once I've done a little bit of moving about, get an area cordoned off from the dogs, and we've got a few little items to put up that they can grow up. I did possibly think if my tower still stays, which I think you can see just up there, there's a pigeon up on the ground plane of the antenna. But there is a mast. You can see some of it there. What a great hop trellis that would make. Back in the brew shed, as I need a couple of fermenters. The weekend's project didn't quite go according to plan, as they never seem to, because the same problem I had last week with brew day, with people turning up, reoccurred this weekend as well. Because I was either going to do myself some Belgian candy sugar or do the wine kit for the missus. So I was off Monday. So I had to book that day off, but I had to do domestic chores. Floor's a bit sticky for some reason. We need a fermenter or two, because I need to rack the SJ Raspberry Vanilla Beer to secondary and add the next lot of raspberry and see what that comes out like. Then possibly rack it again to tertiary. What do they call it? Tertiary. It's tertiary, isn't it? It's the third. Third is a turd. It's the tertiary. Secondary. Thirdary. Tertiary. I don't know. They call it tertiary. Oh, shut up. Get on with it. Yeah, so we need two fermenters. And of course the one I want, which is one I acquired a while back. Excuse me. I had this one, gosh, it was only £6.9 way back then. I can't remember where. I think this one came from an auction job lot, so I don't know what it's ever had in it, if anything. So, although I would obviously thoroughly clean it and sterilise it, I don't know what's ever been in it, so I certainly don't want to risk the SJ test beer, if it is the final beer I do that goes in. Don't want to risk putting it in something I don't know anything about. And this one is another one that I picked up one of my auction bargains many moons ago, which just looked like an ordinary bog standard 20 litre canister that you get chemical or anything in, which probably much it is. Needs a clean, there's a bit of mould in the seal, but basically, yeah, it's obviously a duplication of it made out of food grade plastic with a hull, which I've got a solid bung in at the minute, but obviously you just replace that for a board bung and your airlock, which I'm going to use this one for wine and wine only. So I'll just have to check that it's only a 5-gallon kit, I think it is. But anyway, that's going to be the wine fermenter. And my other one, I can squeeze it out with the bloody stainless tables. Which is a bit awkward to do, one-handed. Hey, Rolf Harris says the same thing. Is that one, which is going to be our secondary fermenter for the raspberry wheat beer. Anyway, you've seen all this before. So, I do have a little bit of an issue. Fuel tank is running low. I think it's time to try. Let's try Harry's Saison, as I've had a few Saisons this weekend, so the old palates are tuned to a few Saisons. I haven't really got a lot else to tell you, so if you don't want to watch a beer review, now's the time to skip to someone else's Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. We're back. So, for those of you that still stayed tuned, you saw the little snippet I added in of the vanilla I was making. You could see the beans floating about inside the vodka. That's the difference a week makes. You can't see through it now. Well, you probably can't with the camera, I can, but yeah. Still a little bit. They weren't great quality beans, they were Asda's cheapy ones, I think. They're certainly a pungent aroma anyway. Harry's beer. It was good enough to send us 4 up. I must admit I haven't had them chilled. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. Oh. Right. Had a palate cleanser. So what have we got here? Harry Brew 69 Saison, a 1049, 5.3%. Bottled from Cold Crash and carbed with CO2. Maybe a little cloudy. A bit difficult to tell with PET bottles because the minute they get used they get scratched. Yeah, it looks reasonably clear. You can see there's a little bit of sediment hanging in the convolutions at the bottom. Good hiss. The smell wouldn't, not a saison-y smell. Almost a bit of a kitty smell. Not as in kitty cat litter. I mean a beer kit smell. Quite well carved. That was a gentle pour. It's come out like that. I mean, admittedly, it is a nucleated glass. The old San Miguel glass. Yes, we've got a slight bit of haze to it. I'd like the head to die down a little bit, but it's quite a bite. A bitterness on the foam. If we can get the grease off your face. Breaks down the foam. Or alternatively, if you've got an Alsatian that likes beer, they eat or drink the foam for you. Oh, look at that spring interaction the minute they hear a splat on the carpet. Well, it's not a carpet, it's a plastic mat. I have one of those office chair mats down there, which has proved quite handy with some of the lively beers I've had sent sometimes. You're not so keen, are they? Jack Russells are not so keen on Saison. No, bit unsure. Right, won't kill you. Right. That's half the head. Let's go in for the kill. Slight butterscotchy smell on the nose. Very fizzy, very carbonated. Yeah, a little bit sort of battery tang to it. It's got a spicy yeasty bite, as Saisons do. Comparing it to the two that I've had this weekend, which was the Saison DuPont, which I think is reasonably easy to get hold of in the UK. It's one of the more common ones. And I had a Saison Silly. A Silly Saison. Even said that camp, didn't they? I don't know what I've done with her. With the bottle. But yeah. Two Saisons, completely tasting different. I didn't do reviews on them. I don't tend to do a load of beer reviews simply because my internet's shit. So doing a 10-minute beer review takes me more time and effort than it's really worth for the enjoyment out of it for me to do it and put it up on camera. And I'm not a beer reviewer. I'm not in the league of Kevin Clemenses and DJ's Brew Tubes and PA Brew News, Paul and all the other fine guys there, Terry K, Beer Goggles Reviews, Ginger Ale Ale Trials. Yeah, getting up. I will confirm it with the wife's palate, but obviously butterscotchery notes. Search your word as a butterscotchery. It's normally a problem in a beer. If that's what I'm tasting. In a saison, I don't know. Because saisons, you can get rid of farmhouse ales and saisons. Seasoned beers is where the word comes from. The saisonniers, which was basically a Belgian French beer brewed in the winter for the summer labourers. But like we used to do sort of lower ABV beers for the harvest time when it was all done by hand. And the harvest workers would get a pale ale, a flagon of ale and a hunk of bread to last them the day. Not getting a huge amount of other flavours of it. But I will just get another little testing palette from Mrs. Norfolk. Well, she's getting the same as me, butterscotch, you know, popcorn, you know, when you open the bags of popcorn you get that sort of smell and taste from the butterscotch, or the butter that they use on the popcorn, which obviously in a regular beer would be an issue. So whether Harry done this at higher fermentation temps to get the different flavours that the yeast is going to kick off, which is what a saison is sort of partly known for. And I'm assuming he used the Bell Saison from idlevalleybrewing.com because that's why I bought it, to try and make some. I've got to get some bitter orange peel and do that sort of style one. With maybe some coriander, a little bitty coriander, and some orange peel in the beer. Don't know what accent that was. Anyway, just going to waffle on to a waffling waffle, which with a little bit of honey would taste like this beer. A waffly versatile beer. No. Okay. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Cheers for the beer, Harry. A little bit more to go in there. The yeast will get dumped in there as well because I don't care. Well, I like Hefweizens. You don't get no waste. So we'll try the old Heffy as well because we've got 3 more from Harry to try. Well, I've got some grains off him. So, brew weekend. Don't know about this weekend. It would have been, but I remembered there's a slight problem with my brew day on a Saturday. It happens to be my birthday, unfortunately, which means I'm 1 year older and no frickin' wiser. So we won't be brewing this weekend, guys. And things are mounting up with other jobs, but I have got to get something done. Ooh. PC plod. Must be on overtime. All the donuts have been ready. Alright, I'm going. Catch you later.